Hi, I'm Jim Huss, speaking with you from Keyboard Exchange International here in Sanford, Florida. And today we're going to talk about how to start a Hammond organ, but then we're also going to explore the inside of the organ so that you can see what is happening when you turn your start switch on and when you turn your run switch on. We're also going to show you something that most people never get a chance to see, and that's a Hammond organ tone generator from the bottom side up. You'll get to see the actual tone wheels and everything. But first, let's start with the proper procedure for starting a Hammond B-3 organ. The first thing you want to do is engage the start motor, and we'll hold the start switch for about 8 seconds. Count 1001, 1002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then press the run motor, continuing to hold the start motor for 2 seconds before we release. In about 30 seconds, the organ will be playing, and that is the proper procedure for starting a Hammond organ with a tone wheel generator. That would be for a B3, a C3, an A100, a B2, a C2, an RT3, and any Hammond organ with 2 switches. Now I'd like to show you what a Hammond tone generator looks like. This is a tone generator that has been removed from the organ. This is the heart of the organ. And perhaps the most interesting part of this is the actual tone wheels. There are over 90 wheels that spin around and produce various pitches. That signal is then picked up by a guitar-like magnetic pickup and transferred onto the Hammond Preamp. But these are all tone wheels. They're about the size of a silver dollar. The number of teeth on each wheel determines the pitch that it generates. This is the actual start motor. When you hit your start switch, this is the motor that gets those 90 plus wheels set into motion. It takes a heavy-duty start motor to get all those wheels going. And eventually, once your start motor has the wheels up to speed, this is a synchronous run motor. This gets mounted at this end of the tone generator. Synchronous means running at a constant speed. And the speed of this motor is determined by the electrical system, the hertz or cycles in the electrical system. Therefore, it's very important that you plug your Hammond organ into an outlet that's designated for the organ, and not to plug too many other things into that same outlet, because you don't want to reduce the voltage or the hertz on that circuit, or the organ won't stay in pitch. So we have the start motor, the run motor, the synchronous run motor, and the Hammond tone generator. Now these cups are where 10 drops of oil should be added each year. Additionally, here's another motor with the scanner attached. It's down at this end. This cup should also receive 10 drops of oil each year. So pick a day, like your birthday or New Year's Day, or someday you'll remember to oil the Hammond organ with 30 drops of oil. That's 10 drops in each of these locations. It's got a lot of moving parts. Doesn't require an oil change. It requires the addition of about 30 drops of oil each year. The organ was very much over-engineered when it was first built, and therefore it was designed to last a long time. These tone generators were made in the 1950s and the 1960s, and some in the 1970s and even the 1940s. So if you'll remember what a bumper on an old car from that time looked like, you'll kind of compare the structural integrity and the over-engineered nature of a Hammond organ built in that era. They were just built great, and if we work together, we at Keyboard Exchange International, and with your cooperation, if we all work together to preserve these fine instruments, there's no reason at all why they can't still be playing great in 100 years from now. Many, many parts are still available for these organs. People are saving parts, remanufacturing parts. Regardless of what you hear about parts not being available for a B3 or a C3, please know that they will be available as a long, long time, well beyond our lifetimes probably, because people care about these organs, and there were hundreds of thousands of them made. So even if an organ gets damaged, it's still good for parts. People like us save and salvage these parts, and if we ever get to a point where we need a part that we don't have, we will simply have it remanufactured to keep these fine instruments going strong. Now here's something that you may not get a chance to see too often, and that's the inside of a Hammond organ B3. This is a model B3 from the inside. What you're looking at here is what we call the preamplifier. You'll see there are tubes here. The tone generator sits behind the preamp, and you saw that once it was removed from the organ. This is the preset panel, those reverse color keys on the back of on the face of the organ to the left side of each manual. Your presets are determined by setting these wires on to various contact points where those screws are located, and directions for adjusting your presets to your own personal taste are usually found right inside the organ. Getting back to the preamp for just a moment, it's pretty interesting to note that these three tubes control the percussion feature of the organ. These three tubes are concerned with audio and vibrato. And these two tubes are basically your main tubes for audio and powering up the preamp. So if the organ doesn't play, you might want to look to those two tubes first. Although there is high voltage in here, and we suggest that you get a qualified technician to look. In addition to oiling the organ once a year, cleaning the tube sockets is a great idea as well. So this is a brief overview of the inside workings of a Hammond B-3 organ. And if you have any additional questions or you need a complete restoration on your Hammond organ, please contact us here at Keyboard Exchange International, www.keyboardexchange.com.